Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Home Lee, and I want to be out of town the next couple of weeks. Have a teacher training that I'm going to, and I figured I would do something sort of as a filler piece to put on the channel while I'm out. And this is going to be sort of a combination of a mail call Nerf pickups kind of video. First off, I broke down, I followed suggestion of Mongoose Jake, channel link in the description below, and picked up a decimator, which is the Adventure Force naming of the Buzzbee, the new Buzzbee Barbarian, as opposed to the old Barbarian, which was it pumped up and fired a missile or had a barrel that shot regular darts on it. But this is sort of a HAMP powered blaster, hold 40 darts. It's a nice little option for CQB. I'm not really blasted with it a whole lot yet, but for CQB type stuff, this is really good. Of course, the harder you pump, the more velocity you're going to end up with shooting this. So, I may do some stuff with this later, see what I can do to maybe get some improvements out of it. But I picked that up full price at Walmart. No thrift find there on that one. I do have some thrift finds here, and I didn't realize until I got to going through them. I have 2 Sweet Revenges that I picked up within the last week, very end of June there. This one even came with 10 darts, but you've got 5 of them in there, and then 5 been saran wrapped to the side, and they're going to be completely useless. But that was a $4 Goodwill find. This one came with no darts, and that was a $3 find at a local Good Samaritan, Habitat for Humanity, some such thrift shop. No, this was the Good Samaritan. I've not been to the Habitat Restore for a while. They don't really have much there. I try to check them every so often to see, but not bad. $3, $4 for Sweet Revenges. Those are pretty good. With the $3 Sweet Revenge, I also picked up a Buzzbee Air Blasters Mega Missile for $1. It was listed as $1 because it was untested. And as you can see, I've been trying to work on it a little bit. See if it will get a little bit of air in it, but you have to pump it several times. So what I'm hoping is I can plug the pump, maybe put a new O-ring in there to lube everything real well, and get a little bit more oomph out of that. And I don't know if I'll keep it like this, the goofy thing that it is, or if I may put it in something else, see what we can do from there. Also at Goodwill, found an exploder pistol, $3. And these things, for the uninitiated, these are getting a little harder to find now, but they were a relatively common thing apparently, because I've passed on several, but I have picked up several. But the barreling in them is good for Boomco, and the springs, they're a pull and release blaster, but the springs are good for spring replacements, a ton of stuff. My buddy Valor put an exploder spring, and I assume it was from one like this. It might have been one of the rifle blasters. I don't know if those springs are any different or not, but he did put an exploder spring in a Turbo Advance and made a heck of a blaster out of it. Also at Goodwill, I picked up an Exact Attack, and you can see it's kind of hung up back here. I don't know what has happened with that. I'm guessing something has gotten hung up internally. I actually kind of dread taking it apart with that tension on it. It's bad enough to take one apart that's primed, and the prime being forward but with the prime being stuck back, and I don't know, that's got some tension on it. That's going to be explosive when I get around to opening that up, hopefully a little bit later. And then my last Goodwill find, I saw this, gravitated right to it. This was the first thing I saw in the store Saturday, the last Saturday in June. I normally try to make thrift runs the first Saturday of each month, because in Middle Tennessee they have 50% off everything in the store first Saturday of the month. So I try to hit a few Goodwills, but I'm not going to be able to for July. I'm going to be on the road. But saw this, first thing I gravitated to. This is the Boomco Ecto Blaster. It's basically a Far Shot or M6, whatever you want to call it, knockoff. These are one of the more rare, more expensive ones. The Ever After High version was pretty rare, pretty expensive. I think if you found it after it went out of production, but started to get popular. But these things new, I saw them going on Amazon for $50 or $60, I think. And I saw this and I thought, oh my God. And I run over and grabbed it, and this is a nice blaster, has a good feel to it. I mean, it's been scuffed up a little bit, but I think it looks cool. And I mean, it's Boomco Far Shot internals. It's gonna have tons of potential. Dropping upgraded spray in there. All right, and then today I got some parts for some projects that I've been working on. This, as you can tell, the I Love New Zealand sticker there, and the New Zealand flag. This is from our buddy Biggs NZ Premium Resin Casting. That's a little sticker he's thrown in. A little thank you for your purchase card that he's done. And these are some parts that I ordered a little while back. And there is a lead time when you order from Biggs, guys. He stays covered up, he stays busy. And it's because he does such beautiful, awesome work. But these parts are translucent orange parts for the Rapid Red. And I've got a couple of blasters that these are going to go in. Really look forward to using those. Biggs is a super great guy to deal with. He was a little late getting these in the mail to me, and he apologized and he comped me my shipping. That was great. You know, I really liked that. The next stuff that I have here is from our friend out of Darts. I've got two of the motor soldering boards there, which that'd be all of them. There's three, and I think I've got one more. I figured I'd try these out. I'm still new at soldering, so I'm still trying to figure everything out. But these little boards, I think, will make things a little bit easier. I'm just going to try them, see how they work, see how they go. Got a couple of sets of the white Bulldog flywheels. Got some things I'm working on that those may go into. A couple of projects that I'm working on. This, yep, that's what I thought it was. It's going to be a Morpheus guide for an open flywheel project Morpheus cage. I want to be probably printing a couple of those of my own. for some rapid red builds. So I got 2 of those guides, and I do kind of suggest hitting those with a file and knocking the edges off some of this stuff. Out of Darts does an excellent job with these things, but I don't know if he's the one exactly that's producing these or not. But with any guides like this, you want to knock the edges off, make sure everything's smooth so your darts feed well. And then next, as you can tell, taking strength to separate some packages here. From our friends at Foam Blast, of some Fang revamps. Those are going to be going in some projects as well here. There's 2 sets. And 3 sets. So I'm looking forward to using this stuff, getting some things put together. I've had some hiccups along the way. I had a couple of sweet revenges that I was trying to put the Boom Tendo 10-shot cylinders into. I decided, hey, I'm going to put a blaster parts kit in there, and the spot for the hammer is a lot more narrow on a Sweet Revenge than it is the hammer shot. The blaster parts kit is intended for the hammer shot, so I was trying to file those out, and I may have ruined a Sweet Revenge in the process, which there are people out there that would probably want to murderate me for such. But I do have some upgrade springs. I've got those Boom Tendo 10-shot cylinders, and I've got the parts from Silver Fox Industries, the hammer trigger and such as that, that I'm probably going to drop in. And I may use these, very 2 Sweet Revenges to drop those in and do those up and get those up and go and get them painted, hopefully when I get back from my trip. But this has been Homely 665. This is sort of a mail call and pickups from the end of June. And this will probably post second week of July, depending on if I get everything else shot. So thank you for tuning in. Keep flinging that foam. Welcome back. Just really quickly, I'd like to share with you guys, I got a couple of boxes in right after I finished the last little bit of the video for mail call and things like that. But I got a couple of packages from Hawkeye at Black Steel Props. I got his Strife flared mag oil. It's going to look pretty sweet, and it's Hawkeye. He does cast parts, don't do no printing. Does some awesome work on his things. I posted a picture of the cage and the magwell and asked somebody if I'm Flywheel Master Race now, and they asked me what line height I had used printing the cage because they thought it looked really good, and I got a kick out of that. I said, no, this is a BSP cage. Black Steel Props, he don't do printing. He does high quality casting, and I mean, you can tell. I've got 3D printed cages and things like that. I just wanted to give Hawkeye's stuff a try, see how it went, because I've got some of his handle scales, and those are high quality stuff, and I wanted to give his cage and flared mag well a try. Next, we've got the third coupe box here, and Coop, when he did the video on this third box, he did announce that he's not going to be continuing after the fourth box, so he's going to finish out the year on them that he started, but that's going to be it. So we've got our box insert here, and in transit the thing got tore up, but we have a iPhone mount or tactical phone mount that'll fit on a Nerf rail. It's pretty cool. I know they've got others of those. We have an official Zombie Slayer patch. We have a Stay Tactical wristband. And he tries to provide in every box something with some Velcro to put a patch on. We've got a little tactical pouch there, keep small things in, handful of rival balls, a couple of darts, what have you. We also have the proximity barrel, kind of like what's been done by NF Strike and New Island. It's sort of like the proximity barrel off of the Spectre. It's a little bit longer than that and not as thick, hardly, I think. But this is a pretty neat looking barrel. It's pretty good, has a decent style to it. And then the final item that was included, several people had requested for blasters or whatever in the Coop boxes, and so Coop threw in one of the Bug Attack Rapid Fires. It's also known as a Reflex under some of the other Zuru lines. Got 2 of the bugs, got 8 darts. These are a pretty good pistol blaster, pretty good sidearm. They can take decent spring upgrades. The Bug Attack one, I really kind of like the grip on it. I've got some real steel firearms that have sort of a similar textured grip to them that I kind of like that feel of. It takes me back to using those. So, you know, this doesn't have as much in it as some of his boxes, especially compared to the first box, but it's a pretty good box. The only thing that I question, and somebody had mentioned something on the video, is he had talked about doing box indicator patches early on for every box. Like the first one was Late Genesis, the second one was I think it might have been Lay Operator or The Operator, something like that. This one didn't have a box indicator badge. I mean, maybe we got that Stay Tactical rubber bracelet in place of it. I don't know. But yeah, Coop has stated that these boxes didn't do as well as he would have hoped. So he's going to discontinue them after he does the 4th and final box. I kind of hate that, but I understand I could tell from the response after the first box that it was pretty much going to be that way. A lot of people wanted to know what was going to be in them before they bought. The service that he was going with, you know, and the fact that he got to personally curate those boxes and everything that goes in those, he chose himself. It wasn't practical to be able to do that and still have a turnaround on it, because the number of subscriptions they had gave them more or less buying power over what went into the boxes. The more people that subscribed, the better the stuff in the boxes could be, because if you're buying 100 of something, you're going to pay more than if you're buying 1,000 of it. So people just didn't see it. I don't know what the deal was on that, but you know, I figured a lot of people would have been in on these, as many fans as Coop has, but again, a lot of them are younger kids. They might not could have talked to their parents into doing the subscription box. I don't know. As a matter of fact, one of the few dislikes that I have gotten on videos so far, of course I don't have very many people watch my videos, but I'm not in it for the money, not in it for the recognition. As I stated in my channel intro video, the main reason I'm doing this is just to kind of air what I think or what I'm doing. You know, dislikes don't bother me, but like I've got 2 dislikes on videos, and the first one was on my Coop box where I talked about the first 2 Coop boxes I had. So apparently somebody don't like the idea of that, and you know, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. I'm a proud supporter of what he's doing. He is mainstream, but he is getting back to his roots a little bit now, and going into modding again. He's released some modding type videos here recently, and I'm kind of glad to see he's still staying connected with that. But that'll wrap up this video. This is just a short little addendum because I got these in, and hopefully the next episode I'll be back with something pretty cool. So keep flinging that phone, guys and gals.